Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Vando Mui Savadana Mate Yahara Prasadeva E Baba Toriya Krishna Prati Hoya Hote Krishna Prati Hoya Padma Vyakya Chitete Koriya Kya Padma Vyakya Chitete Koriya Alana Koriyo Mane Asa Charane Rati Ese Utama Jati Charane Rati Ese Utama Jati Je Prasade Purve Sarva Asa Prasade Purve Sarva Asa Prasade Purve Sarva Sakudan Dino De Jami Janme Prabhu Se Sakudan Dino De Jande Prabhu se Ive Jani de Pokasito Ive Jani de Pokasito Jani de Pokasito Bhakti Jayati Avina Vinasthate Bhakti Jayati Avina Vinasthate Prema Bhakti Jayati Avina Vinasthate Idega Jarahatarito Idega Jarahatarito Idega Jarahatarito Shigaru Karuna Sindhu Aramajanara Bandhu Karuna Sindhu Shigaru Karuna Sindhu Aramajanara Bandhu Karuna Sindhu Aramajanara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Divana Lokanath Lokera Divana Lokera Divana Aha Prabhu Kora Doya Deho More Parachaya Prabhu Kona 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 Doya Deho More Parachaya Ebe Dasa Gupsu Tribhuvana Ebe Dasa Gupsu Tribhuvana Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Papavana Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Papavana Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Devasesha Sanyavadi Paschachadesatarini Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Raya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Namaha, Keshavaya Namaha. Yaravaya Manavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Shimadustudam. Gopal Govindaram Shimadustudam. Hare Gopinath Narana Mohan. Hare Gopinath Narana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hare Raya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Namaha. Hare Raya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudaram. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudaram. Govindaram Shri Madhusudaram. Nitya Go Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitya Go Hari Bo. Nitya Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitya Gora Hari Bo. Nitya Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitya Gora Hari Bo. Go to Premanandi. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gokopinath Shyamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki. Vrindavan Dham ki. Mayapur Dham ki. Navadvip Dham ki. Jagannath Puri Dham ki. Jamuna Mai ki. Ganga Mai ki. Tulsi Devi ki. Bhakta Devi ki. Shri Radha Gokananda ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Brahma.
Hare Krishna. So reading from Prabhupada Nectar this morning. This is a letter from 1975. Regarding your question about the controversial talks going on, this kind of talk is not befitting my advanced students. This is childish. In Krishna's service, there is no inferior and superior. Deity worship is just as important as book distribution. It is not material. You should understand the importance of each and every item of devotional service. Do not make any misunderstanding by devaluating any of the spiritual activities. One who distinguishes a particular type of service as inferior or superior, he does not know the value of devotional service. It is all transcendental. Whatever item is suitable, that is accepted, is very elevated. Just like Maharaj Parikshit, he simply listened to Sukadeva Goswami. That is Shravanam. So any devotee executing any one of the 9 items is transcendently glorious. One devotee may be proud that his process of service is best. That is not inglorious. Everyone should feel proud of his particular type of devotional service. But that does not mean that other types of service are inferior. Everyone should feel proud of becoming a sincere servant of Krishna, but the pure devotee never minimizes the importance of other devotees. Krishna is the enjoyer of varieties of service. It is not stuck up with any particular type of service. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So I want to welcome all the devotees here who have come for the Child Protection Office seminar that's going on this weekend. Leela Shuka and Tamahar Prabhus have prepared 3 days of seminar to train devotees in judging child protection cases. And I also want to thank them for taking on this service because it's a very, very difficult service, judging child protection cases. So I want to welcome Sundamani Prabhu, Temple President from Tucson, and Uttara Prabhu from North Carolina, Krishna Nama Prabhu from Hillsborough, North Carolina, Dayavir Prabhu, I don't know where you're from. Where? North Carolina. Okay, so it's North Carolina and Florida today. And there's somebody here from Boulder, too, the temple president, but he's not in the temple room right now, and I don't know his name. So welcome to all of you, and we're very glad to have you here in Nirvana. So today at 10 a.m. there's going to be mulching. If you have any time, anyone listening, and you'd like to come over to the temple to help spread mulch, and you have a shovel, that's an added bonus. Please bring that. Harinam today, 5 p.m. We meet at University and 13th Street and do Harinam till about 6:30. Jayadvaita Swami is going to speak at the sanctuary this evening. That's on 441. As you're heading towards Gainesville, it's on the right-hand side, probably 3 miles out from Alachua. And that's happening this evening at 7 p.m. There's also another seminar happening today that Krishna Keshav has agreed to go to, and that's given by the county of Alachua, and that's the police department is going to come and speak about intervention programs for mentally disturbed people rather than just sending them to jail. And we thought that was important for us to know about, too. So Keshava Prabhu has agreed to take that seminar. And I want to just mention that Krishna Kata Anija's daughter, Vrindavan, had a baby girl yesterday, so we offer blessings to her for a long, happy life in Krishna consciousness. These are the devotees who assisted their spiritual master in dressing the deities today. Shishi Radha Shamsundar, Astasaki Prabhu, Chota Radha Shamasundar, Karaneshwari Prabhu, Shri Krishna Balaram, Devarata and Guru Prasad Prabhus, Chota Krishna Balaram, Manjari Sundari Prabhu, Shri Gornitai Gandharvika Prabhu, Chota Gornitai, Yamaraj Prabhu, Gurus and Lord Nishingadev, Vilasani Prabhu. Nanda Prabhu is giving class today. Hadbo. Yeah, thanks, Prabhu. There's still time if you're going to give class. There's still time for you to do it. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabala Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Paribhajakacharya, Asukara Satashi Shriman, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti, Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Shri Kaho, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Shama Sundar, Gopa Gopinath, Sham Kund, Radha Kund, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Swami Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Srimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Sama Veda Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, we're reading today from the 10th canto. On the 10th canto, we're on chapter 38, which is Akrura's arrival in Vrindavan. We're on text number 28 through 33. They're all grouped together with no purport, by the way. Sorry. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, so they're all grouped together. So we'll just repeat, we'll chant the first verse, and then we'll chant the others. Okay, so we'll repeat the first verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Utirayat Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Before reciting the Srimad-Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should first offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, and unto Srila Prabhupada, the translator and commentator. That's a Dravida edited thing, so it's bona fide. Okay. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service unto the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Okay, so we're on text 28 of this series of verses. We'll just repeat the first verse over. Dadarsha Krishna Ramam Cha. Dadarsha Krishna Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambara Daro. Pita Nilambara Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Dadarsha Krishnam Ram. Dadarsha Krishnam Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambara Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Please chant. Dadarsha Krishnam Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambara Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Dadarsha Krishna Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambara Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. I know there's others out there. Come on. Dadarsha Krishna Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambara Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Ladies. Dadarsha Krishna Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambaram Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Dadarsha Krishna Ramam Cha. Rajego Dohanam Gatau. Pita Nilambara Daro. Sharad Amburu Hekshano. Okay, so we can chant this next series of verses together. Okay? Kishoro Shamala Sveto Shri Niketo Brihat Pujao Shri Mukhao Sundara Raro Baladvarada Varkamo Dvaja Vrakchanusam Ojas Shinitar Agribir Vrajam Shobhayanto Mahatmano Shanukro Shashmi Kekshano. You there? Okay, next one. Udara Ruchira Krido Shrag Vino Vanamalino Punya Gadhanu Lipanto Shnatu Virajavasaso Pradana Purushad Adyo Jagadetu Jagatpati Avatirno Jagatyarte Swam Sena Balakeshavo Disho Vitimira Rajan Kurvanam Prabhaya Svayam Yata Marakata Shailo Ropyascha Kanicha Chito. We'll do the word for word just for the first verse. Dadarsha, he saw. Krishna Ramacha, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. Vraje, in the village of Vraj. Go, the cows. Dohanam, to the place of milking. Gato, gone. Pita Nila, yellow and blue. Ambaruha, like lotuses. Ikshano, whose eyes. That's it for the first verse. Then there's quite a few more, which, with your permission, you'll just imbibe from reading it up there. Translation by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Akrura then saw Krishna and Balaram in the village of Vraj, going to milk the cows. Krishna wore yellow garments and Balaram blue, and their eyes resembled autumnal lotuses. One of those two mighty armed youths, the shelters of the goddess of fortune, had a dark blue complexion, and the other was white. With their fine featured faces, they were the most beautiful of all persons. As they walked with the gait of young elephants, glancing about with compassionate smiles, those two exalted personalities beautified the cow pasture with the impressions of their feet, which bore the marks of the flag, lightning bolt, elephant goad, and lotus. The two lords, whose pastimes are most magnanimous and attractive, were ornamented with jeweled necklaces and flower garlands, anointed with auspicious, fragrant substances, freshly bathed, and dressed in spotless raiment. They were the primeval, supreme personalities, the masters and original causes of the universe, who had, for the welfare of the earth, now descended in their distinct forms of Keshava and Balaram. O King Parikshit, they resembled two gold-bedecked mountains, one of emerald and the other of silver. As with their effulgence, they dispelled the sky's darkness in all directions. Please repeat. No, that's a joke, sorry. Sorry, Hare Krishna. Om Adinati Mirandasya Dinandina Salakaya Chaksut Unmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So in our reading recently, we come across one verse by the four Kumaras, which I wanted to offer now as a prayer before this class. Here's the four Kumaras from the third canto. They're saying, O Lord, we pray that you let us be born in any hellish condition of life, just as long as our hearts and minds are always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Our words are made beautiful by speaking of your activities, just as tulsi leaves are beautified when offered unto your lotus feet, and as long as our ears are always filled with the chanting of your transcendental qualities. Hare Krishna. So here, in this chapter, this is Akrura's arrival in Vrindavan. What we've heard up to this point was Akrura's meditation on the Lord's, on his mission, and on his relationship with Kamsa, and so many things that was going through his mind as he was on his chariot on the way to Vrindavan. He was a little, in the beginning of his journey, he was a little hesitant. In modern terms, we might say. He was a little mental. He was a little mental, thinking, oh, here I am on a mission of Kamsa, coming to bring Krishna and Balaram to Mathura so that Kamsa can kill him. How's the Lord going to accept me? What? And then he thinks, enough of that thought. That's Krishna's in the heart of every living entity. He knows my intention. I have nothing to fear. And he's also thinking, and he was also expressing his feelings of how unqualified he felt to be actually have the darshan of Krishna. He was grateful, but he was also feeling very unqualified. How is it that I have the opportunity? What have I done in my past life that I've been able to get this opportunity now? Kamsa says, actually, it might appear externally that I'm implicated in this sinful act of bringing Krishna and Balaram to Vrindavan, but actually Kamsa is doing me a great favor by giving me the opportunity to go see Krishna and Balaram. He's blessed me in this way. And even though I might be feeling this lack of qualification, still it's possible. It's possible that the mercy of the Lord comes like this, in a causeless way, just as grass or dirt or whatever that's floating in the waves of a river might finally be washed to the shore. So the living entity will finally get that opportunity to see the Supreme Lord and finally be taken out of that cycle of the ocean, of the river of birth and death, get pushed to the shore and get liberated from that cycle. So let me not lament about my disqualification, and let me rejoice in the opportunity that's at hand. So as in yesterday's verse, Akrura, on his way to Vrindavan, he was so absorbed in who he was going to see, Krishna and Balaram and their beauty, and how they would receive him, and how he would offer his obeisances, and how Krishna would pick him up and embrace him and extend his hand, and so many things. He was so absorbed in that he didn't even notice. He didn't even notice the journey. It just kind of happened automatically. And one can imagine that it obviously wasn't happening automatically, because it wasn't that he was on automatic pilot or anything. Although sometimes we've probably all experienced at least in the earlier days when we would visit Vrindavan, sometimes you would see the farmer with his ox load, with his oxen pulling his load. He's asleep on the back of the cart, and the cart's just meandering its way down to wherever its destination was. Hopefully the man would wake up before he missed his stop, but he would get there somehow or other. But Akrura's journey on the horses, on that new chariot that Kamsa had provided to get Krishna and Balaram, his journey obviously wasn't so, he couldn't do it automatically, but he was so absorbed that he was just doing that in a mechanical way, but his mind was completely absorbed in Krishna and Balaram, and how they looked and how they would greet him, etc., etc. So it's interesting to see how all of Akrura's desires are fulfilled, and none of Kamsa's desires are fulfilled. All of Akrura's desires are filled, and even his meditation on how the Lord looked and how he reacted, it'll be revealed in further verses. He reacted in this just the way in Akrura's meditation. Yesterday in Sesha Prabhu's class, he was talking about meditation. And at the end, there was a discussion of the levels of meditation. So this is a very, very exalted goal. But here, by hearing through Srimad-Bhagavatam, by hearing descriptive verses like this, and so many the verses in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, we get to experience that same level of meditation. Now, if we can hold it, that's another thing. But at least we get to see it and experience it there. And Lord Brahma, way back in the 3rd canto, Lord Brahma, he says from Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Hrit Saroja Asesha Shute Chita Tato Nanunata Pum Sham. You know the rest, Pushkar? Is he awake? No, okay. Tato Dia Tad Urugaya Vibhavayanti Tatat Vapu Pranayase Sad Anugrahaya. So Lord, that's in the third canto in Lord Brahma's prayers for creative energy. He's explaining right there in our beginning stages of understanding the goal and how to reach the goal, that the Lord is revealed through the ears. The Lord is revealed through the ears. He's manifested in the heart of the devotee, but through the ears by whom they're meditating on. That form of the Lord is manifested in the heart of the devotee, but it's through the ears. So this is our process. By the meditation, by the constant hearing of the form and beauty and activities and pastimes and magnanimity of the Supreme Lord, that very Lord whom we meditate on is revealed in our hearts. That's so quite amazing, quite an amazing thing, and and shows, gives us a little glimpse of the potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and gives us another glimpse of how potent sound vibration is. So what lessons can we learn in our stage of sadhana, of practice and devotional service, is to always keep ourselves absorbed in our immersed in the opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity that we've been given to hear and chant about the glories of the Lord. That's such a unique, special opportunity, potent opportunity that will have one takes advantage of that opportunity just by doing that on a regular basis. What happens? The heart becomes cleansed, the mind becomes clean. So many things are revealed. So within the heart, with the mind, with our vision, and we're actually gradually able to see the Supreme Lord in our lives every day, how his hand is there. So like Akrura in his situation in Mathura, we recall from the very beginning of the 10th canto that when Kamsa began his persecution, after he heard that the 8th child would be the one that would kill him, Kamsa began his persecution. He harassed the members of the Yadu dynasty so much that many of them fled Mathura. Many of them fled. And it's explained there in the first or second chapter of the 10th canto that some of the Yadus even went to live in caves to escape that persecution. Now, it's that, when you think of that, because when the demigods approached the Lord to help relieve the burden of the earth, and the Lord said, I'm just about to incarnate, you should also come down, and you should be born in the families in the area to assist in my pastimes. So some of those members of the Yadu dynasty were demigods. And yet, they had come particularly and specifically to partake in the Lord's pastimes. And somehow or other, if you take the picture when Kamsa begins his persecution, and there's some people living in caves, and you think, well, they got a bum deal. Here they are, demigods coming to partake in the Lord's pastimes, but there they have to go off and live in the caves, and what are they going to see? But actually, we have to learn to see things with a broader vision. So there's a purpose behind everything, and some activities take place just to facilitate the Lord's pastimes. They might be immediately manifest. The activities, the results, the purpose might be immediately manifest, but it might not be immediately manifest. It might be gradually revealed what the purpose is. So yes, they had to go live in caves, and they had to do this, and they had to do that, while Kamsa was propagating his reign of terror, up till the point that Krishna said, enough of this. But in the meantime, Lord Krishna, enjoying his life in Vraj and Vrindavan, got so absorbed in the activities of Vrindavan and the loving exchanges with his devotees, he got totally bewildered. You call it mugdata. He totally absorbed in that activity, not wanting to leave. Therefore, who was the one who had to come and pull him out of that? Narada Muni. Narada Muni had to come and say, oh, remember, I know in a few days I'm going to see you kill Kamsa. I know I'm going to see you kill some kings. I know so many things. He had to kind of shake him, you could say, and remind him of his purpose in coming, because he had such a transcendental purpose, as explained here in this verse, said that they were the primeval supreme personalities, the masters and original causes of the universe, who had, for the welfare of the earth, now descended in their distinct forms of Keshava and Balaram. So they had a very specific purpose in coming, which has been revealed so far, and will be gradually revealed in the other verses of these chapter and future chapters. But I was thinking along those lines of the process of creation, because that's what we're hearing about in our reading, separate from here. The process of creation. So when the Lord, So when Lord Brahma first manifests on top of that lotus flower that grows from the navel lake of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, when he first becomes conscious and looks around, sees what's going on, he can't see anything. It's total darkness. Not only is it total darkness, but he also doesn't know who he is or what his purpose is, and he doesn't know where he is, and his lotus is swaying back and forth due to the strong winds of devastation. And he can sort of see down, he can see the ocean. What he sees is the ocean. And the waves are so strong and violently moving to and fro. And he's trying to figure out, what's going on? He can't see anything. So as he makes his own endeavor to discover his own purpose, he climbs down the stem of the lotus, and then he hears the two syllables, ta, pa, and immediately understands, that's what I should do. Tapa, austerities, penances. And by his performing penances and austerities for just a short 100 years of the demigods, everything becomes revealed to him. Because why? Because Krishna becomes pleased. There's the crutch right there. Because Krishna becomes pleased, everything becomes revealed to him. And there he is, sitting on the lotus, looking down, and now that Krishna is pleased with him, after him having done the austerities, he can see who he is, he can see the lotus, he can see the Lord, he can see the ocean, and he knows what to do now. So you know what he did? He drank up the wind and the water to stop the moving of his lotus flower. Anyway, so one of the points being that everything was there in front of Brahma in this state of bewilderment. It was all there. The Lord was there, the lotus was there, the ocean was there, his purpose and knowledge of creation, it was there, but he couldn't remember it. It was there. But then, after his doing his austerities and penances, then everything becomes revealed. So everything was the same. Nothing was different. The only thing was different was his vision. So similarly, it's a question of vision. The Supreme Lord is present in our lives at every step of our way, every step of the way. And it's a question of changing our vision so that we can see his hand, his loving hand in everything. And how is it that we change our vision? We change our vision by hearing. We change our vision by hearing, by becoming absorbed, by hearing and meditating on that form of the Lord, by associating with the devotees. The whole process of sadhana bhakti is given to us so that we can learn to change our vision, and then we will see gradually, and it is a gradual process. Actually, that was one of my key words. Thanks. That reminded me of one of my verses. Brahma Samhita, one of Lord Brahma's realizations of offering prayers after he realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead, after he did his years of austerity, he spoke that glorious Brahma Samhita, of which we have the 5th chapter, and at the end of that chapter he says that this process is gradually understood. Let me see. Pramanais tad sadacharais tadabhyasar anantaram bodhayam atmanatmanam bhaktimapyutamam labet. The highest devotion, pramana, the highest devotion is attained by slow degrees. By the process, by the method of constant endeavor for self-realization, with the help of scriptural evidence, theistic conduct, and perseverance. Perseverance in practice. So there we have our basic guidelines. How we can, from where we're at today, make progress so that we can realize this by the Lord's mercy, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. We can actually have the Lord revealed however he chooses, whenever he chooses. But it's there, it's possible. We have these guidelines, and we shouldn't be impatient. We have to be, just like Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita, Utsaham Nisyat Daryat Tat Tat Karma Pravatana. We have to be enthusiastic, we have to be determined, we have to be patient. We can't have just one and leave out the others, and we need to have the whole show there all together. So that patience in practice. Again, going to the example of Lord Brahma and the process of creation. As he endeavored through the process of creation, it's not that it was, even he had done his austerity, even though he had the realization of the Supreme Lord, the darshan of the Lord came and shook his hand. Still, there was so many obstacles in the process of his executing his devotional service. So many demons were born at first. When Rudra manifested from between his eyebrows, and then he told Rudra to start propagating, and Rudra just happened to propagate kids that were just like himself, full of anger and lust and greed, and they were destroying the whole universe, and even up to the point of attacking Lord Brahma himself. Lord Brahma had to go and counsel him. Now, it's better if you go off and do a little more penance and purify your consciousness before you continue to create more progeny like this, because it's not necessary to destroy the world at this point. That'll come later. So then he had that difficulty. Then when he told Swayambhuva Manu to go have progeny and everything, Swayambhuva Manu said, there's a slight problem here. The earth, where I'm supposed to be working in, has fallen into the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean. So what are we going to do? Can you make some arrangement? And interestingly enough, Lord Brahma didn't get in all anxiety about that. He said, the earth has fallen into the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean while I've been engaged in the activities of creation. What can we do? Better let the Supreme Lord figure it out. I can't remember what he said exactly right there. Better let the Supreme Lord do it, because it's his creation, it's his problem, it's his activities, and he'll give us some solution. Who are we to make the solution? So, he had many difficulties in his endeavor for Krishna, for executing his service. So perhaps we might have some slight difficulties in our execution of devotional service. And if we can make any correlation to the nice, I don't know if nice is the correct word, but it's nice that they're having this child protection meeting this weekend in this training procedure, because even in our endeavor in self-realization, it's not the initial smooth sailing ride that we thought of when we first joined the movement. We find, that there's real difficulties that we have to deal with along the way. So let us, in a mood of service, do the best we can and make the arrangement the best arrangement we can for the safety and protection of our children and all the members of this society, so that we can create an atmosphere that people can make, a peaceful atmosphere that people can make spiritual progress. I'm doing some reading with some Spanish girls in Nectar of Instruction. In Nectar of Instruction, right? So Srila Prabhupada says at least 8 or 10 times throughout the Nectar of Instruction, he said, this is the purpose of our Krishna Consciousness Society, that we create an atmosphere that people can come to and associate with people who are endeavoring for spiritual realization, so that they can hear and chant in the society of devotees. This is the purpose of our ISKCON movement. And we are endeavoring in so many ways, and gradually it's becoming successful. So this is the purpose of our ISKCON society. And in spite of so many bumps along the way, we'd like to give credit and encouragement to all those devotees who continually strive for making that atmosphere more and more conducive for spiritual life. So don't see this, meaning this conference, as separate from your endeavors for self-realization. It's also a part of self-realization. It's also will facilitate others too in theirs. So see whatever service that we have been allotted by the Lord's mercy and by Srila Prabhupada's grace, see it with connection to Krishna, and gradually everything will be revealed. How's that? Krishna, Chaitanya. Any comments or questions? Corrections? Sesha. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Radhananda, for your class. You were mentioning that we need to see Krishna is involved in our life at every step. And what does that look like? What does it feel like? Just if you can help clarify that, and might recognize it when it happens.
Well, what made me think a little bit about that was how Akrura, on his journey to Vrindavan, one of those verses in the beginning of the chapter, he was saying, how is it that I can get the opportunity to come see the Lord? And then he was kind of, in a sense, lamenting. And then he says, enough of that. Enough of that. It's possible that the living entity can come to the shore of the ocean of birth and death by the mercy of the Lord. So somehow or other, like my mind, perhaps your mind does not lament very much, but my mind is always thinking of different causes for lamentation. But actually, instead of seeing it as causes for lamentation, now I got this disease, woe is me, now this is happening, woe is me, now is this. Why not look at it in this way? What is the lesson that I have to learn? Krishna is so kind. Let's say disease, for example, right? Just something that might happen to some of us every now and then. So Krishna is so kindly, he's giving me this as an opportunity to become more serious, not waste my time. So many things. Look at it in a different way. And not think that it's separate from Krishna directly. Not in a sahajic way, but in a way that, no, Krishna's there. Where was it that we were reading? Maybe it was Akrura. Again, Krishna, in the heart of every living entity, he knows the intention of every living entity. And therefore, he's directing, nothing's happening by chance. So perhaps one could technically say, well, it's not Krishna directly, it's not Shama Sundar directly doing this to me. But you know what I'd say? Why not think like that? It only increases your relationship and your feeling of closeness to him. And it helps you see so many things. Instead of looking on the negative side, look on the positive side. What is the lesson that I can learn? How this opportunity I've gotten, this, challenge I've gotten, or this good thing I've gotten. There's Lord Brahma's direction there. Tatenu kampam susamikshama. Good, bad, whatever. Just offer your glorification to the Supreme Lord. So that's what I was thinking of. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Trivikram Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. I was wondering what you meant when you said the ocean of devastation. I think it was that. And then when I was in the kitchen, I heard something that says like Krishna and Balaram look like two mountains.
Two mountains, one of sapphire and one of silver. Yeah. Gold-bedecked mountains, one of emerald and the other is silver. So the ocean of devastation, what I was talking about was when Lord Brahma was sitting on top of the lotus, when he was first came aware of his position, and he was looking down at that Garbhodak ocean, and the waves were tossing violently. So I very loosely called that the ocean of devastation. Okay? Does that clarify my unclarity there? Okay. Hari Bol, Raga. Just now coming, Raga Ji.
Mataji, since I'm having the privilege of coming to the Bhagavatam discussions and readings that we're having, I'm wondering if you remember just recently I thought it was Lord Shiva who was saying that Krishna creates all the inclinations and disinclinations of everyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He did, but not in that reading. He says that's in the fourth canto. Lord Shiva offers prayers to the Prachetas. Thank you, Krishna. To the Prachetas, and he's not offering prayers to the Prachetas, but he's offering prayers, and he tells the Prachetas to chant this song. So Krishna is the source of inclination and disinclination. He's the source of everything. Jai. Leela Sukhaji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
One of the things that helps me feel more connected to Krishna and helps change my vision is gratitude, and having gratitude for the various small and large things that Krishna does throughout the day in my little tiny life. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for illuminating the scriptures and Krishna's pastimes. When you speak, it comes alive for me, and I wanted to thank you for giving class today.
Well, thank you for embarrassing me. No. All right, Krishna, thank you. Anyway, that's why I read the prayer by the Kumaras. That little prayer by the Kumaras in the beginning of the class. They say, let my words glorify you. What can I say? Let's just try to glorify the Lord. So, Hare Krishna. Krishna, see, that's the thing, is that Krishna's in the heart of all the living entities, and he reciprocates with people in different ways. So many people we all hear in different, according to our state of consciousness. Sometimes we sit and hear class and we don't hear anything because our consciousness is so covered. But if your consciousness is opened, that even an unqualified person can inspire you. Hare Krishna. Madan Mohan Prabhu.
Thank you. I was thinking about those points, and actually Krishna arranges everything. So that attention to detail in everyone's life is extraordinary, and we tend to take almost everything for granted. But if you even take it to the smallest detail, even that you can blink your eye, you can take it to any detail you want, that everything is being done by Krishna. And I like puns sometimes, so I said through appreciation you can experience Krishna's presence. And you can spell presence a couple different ways.
Thanks. And speaking of detail, just a little information for your continued meditation during the day. Do you know that a second can be divided into 1,687.5 parts? That's there in calculation of time by the atom. Hare Krishna. Don't waste a second. Glory to Srila Prabhupada, glory to Srimad-Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Sure.